If you're here for Venom, step aside. It's the Reese Evans show.
It's Reese Evans is a little symbiote, and that's really what we got. That's right. People have been begging him to come back as the Crocodile Man. No, he's back as just a weird little hippie. He's a hippie.
He's back. And Sony's made another another superhero movie with him and just been like, he's a hippie. He's a hippie that attaches himself.
Here's the thing. He was a bit of a bum in that last Spider-Man movie. He's a bum in this one as well,
Yeah.
okay? Reese Evans has been typecast as a bum. I'm here for it.
Do you reckon he had to do this because he didn't come back for
I think
No
they
Way
were like,
Home?
yeah, I think he did the scheduling. He's like, damn it, fuck. They contracted me for one more movie, and I held out, and luckily I've sunk my teeth into Venom. I've sunk my teeth into Venom 3.
They were like, oh, don't worry, Reese. You can play a disgusting-looking hippie.
It's just a cruel
You
joke.
could have been an attractive, intelligent doctor.
We got Hayden Christian back as a Sandman, but you didn't want to come back as the Crocodile? Really? You bitch. Well, guess what? You got a weird family, and you're going to be helping Tom Hardy.
You're going to be singing a lot.
Can you sing? No? Good. Good.
Learn the guitar,
You're
but
gonna be-
don't.
Just strum along. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl, and this is Who Would Watch This?
Welcome to Who to Watch This, the podcast we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who to watch this.
Today we're talking about Venom, The Last Dance, which currently has a 6.2 on IMDb, a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 2.6 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
Eddie and Venom on the run, face pursuit from both worlds. A lot of commas in this. As circumstances tighten, they're compelled to make a heart-wrenching choice, comma, that could mark the end of their symbiotic partnership. Okay, well, read between the lines there, yeah.
Damn, I flat out yawned while you were reading that.
Whoa, that's crazy, because the film kept me alive, kept me going.
Well, when you see a crisp 5:20 p.m. showing on a Wednesday with a crowd so lively as ours, what do you expect? How do you expect me to fall asleep? That can't be done.
Carl, we just got out of the cinema for Venom 3, The Last Dance.
Minutes ago. Seconds, if you would.
Seconds.
About half an hour.
It's been about half an hour. The drive
half
home,
an hour for us to
The
soak it
drive
in.
does take, that's the thing. It's a thinker. It's a thinker.
We've done a full soaking.
Yeah. Thoughts. What do we think about Venom 1 and 2? I can't really remember them at all. Luckily, this one, spoiler, gives you like a little flashback of all of them. I was going, did we see that? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I've never forgotten any of them. My thoughts on them? Never liked them.
Whoa, you've never liked them?
I don't think so. I think Tom Hardy's bringing a lot, but they're not very good.
No.
They're mildly entertaining, I guess.
It's funny they're the best of the Sony ones to offer, but then I
I
guess some of the
know.
worst of the Marvel ones. They're sitting at a lovely average.
Absolutely. They're just enough that Marvel doesn't actually want to touch them, but they're like, we will do whatever to just keep Spider-Man interacting with our universe.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, we did the first one, which was fine from memory.
I remember just being like, "Oh, that's a lovely romantic
Mm.
thing." I think the film doesn't. It once it's like being coy, and then the second one was a bit like, they're not dating. Like it's a cool action film, and it's like you just commit, okay? Just commit. This one, however, finally, we're back at it's kind of the before midnight.
Here's the thing: we want it to be gay.
Yeah.
Look, let's not hold back.
Yeah.
I want this to be gay.
I want to see some penetration of Venom, and quite frankly, if I don't get that in a PG-13 film, then fuck me dead, okay?
I know, absolutely. I want Venom coming in and out of Eddie Brock. And
I want Eddie Brock to stretch Venom over his cock. I know he can do it. He can morph into a condom, and then he can
do
fuck
whatever.
him.
We can do it all.
Yeah.
We can see a little condom with like Venom's face going. "Arr." That's what the people want.
That's what the people want, and that's why this is a $1 billion franchise, okay? The people get what they want. Carl, should we get into Venom 3?
I guess so. Or Venom 3 is going to have to get into me.
That's right. I want Eddie Brock to penetrate me with Venom protecting us,
Yeah.
you know? Carl, we also should say we're back in a big way. We're back from our holiday.
We're so back. We've never been bigger.
Yeah, this is huge. We had a lot of... Listen, the quality is up for you to decide how they were. We got them done.
Having edited some of them, they weren't there. Good on you if you listened.
If you stuck it through. But we're back in a big way. This is a current bit. This is still in the cinemas. You can go watch this right now.
Yeah, you can run out there. Don't worry. So many cinema releases coming at you. We're definitely seeing Red One. Over Oscar's dead body, you can
we're
try
in the
and hold
Christmas
me back.
spirit when Dwayne The Rock Johnson was like, I'm fronting a $350 million Christmas movie. Guess what? You're not going to watch this again next year. That's a promise you need to jump at. You got to jump at that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That and
Craven?
Yeah, surely we'll do Craven.
Yeah.
Craven's not going to be good.
I don't know, he had scurvy, and that kind of enticed me, I want to see how it works in this whole Morbius Madame Web thing. They must be shitting themselves, because they're just like, all right, we've only, 2 of these have been, like, foolish things. This one, it probably can be foolish, but I don't think people are going to be tricked again. Like, people aren't going to fall for it.
Sony being like, we should have released them earlier, otherwise we can't trick them. We can't trick them. None of them have been good. How do we
Surely
trick
people are
them?
going to catch on, like, this is going to be a foolish mistake.
Sony's the one that keeps getting tricked, being like, I think they really liked Morbius, like, re-release it, and then they were like, they tricked us when we were trying to trick them into seeing our piece of shit film.
Carl, let's jump into Venom 3.
Yes.
We're back at the bar that was at the end credit scene of the Spider-Man movie, and I was chuffed.
I loved it. I cracked my knuckles and I went, oh, they've written themselves into a corner. We have to start here because they're definitely trapped. They're trapped in a corner and they're like, fucking, why'd we end the last one on this? Well, it's not going anywhere interesting.
Well, because they were like, we're going to get Marvel by their goddamn coattails, said, get the fuck out of our goddamn franchise. We've actually squashed that little Venom bug you left in our movie, and now you can fuck off back to your franchise. Go, okay, well, he's on the run, nobody likes him, and Venom, him, kind of alone. So, we're back at this bar, he's back in his own world. It's crazy the motivation is, we just need to run away. Like, that's kind of all we've got for the first... I think the whole film, right? There's no real motivation. It's just them kind of getting along.
He's just sort of on the run.
Yeah.
It's a very standard. I was surprised that they were like, this takes place like seconds after the end of end of the second one, because there's a part of the movie where they're like, what, a year it's been? I was like, a year? This has all been taking place over a year?
It almost feels rushed for them, I think. I thought this had been like a good 5 years, they were kind of like in a long term.
Should be the better half of a decade.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of bicker like that, but it just seemed like this is a fresh tattoo of a relationship. Give it time to breathe.
It was one of those things where I went, if this is a year, this is going too fast.
Yeah.
It can't be like this.
And here's the thing, I think a lot of couples, when they go on a very wacky adventure, bond over that. I think when you have the downtime, it breaks down,
I do love that also they don't want to acknowledge why he went to another universe. Like, if you were just, like, watching all 3 of them, you'd be like, wait, why'd he go? Why is he back? I think they definitely thought they could get Tom. Right?
Yes.
They definitely were like, oh, but what if he went over into the little Tom Holland movies?
Yes.
Would they want to meet? And Tom Holland was like, no.
I do like Tom Holland as the only person, like, there's not even like a team of people that are like, please, Tom. He's like, no, I'm not working with Tom Hardy. This is my franchise, okay? Reese Stefan's can be, no, he can't be here. Hayden Christensen's can be here. I want Jamie Foxx, and that's it. And maybe Robert Downey Jr. can come back for a little bit, but that's it. But no, he's stuck. Go back to your home.
Tom Holland just be like, I'm a star. Okay, I'm a star in my own right. You get Tom Hardy out of here. When's the last time he led a project?
Okay, my agent told me, I'm in the next Christopher fucking Nolan film, okay? You thought I had an ego now? I will shit on you guys. I'm God. I'm Mr. Oppenheimer too, okay? So fuck right off. Reese Stefan's, kick him down. Put him in the Tom Hardy. I bet he got bitter that he got rejected. And he's like, put him in the Venom. He can be in the Venom films.
Be in the Venom.
No, he's not going to my franchise. No, fuck off. Fuck off, Reese.
Can't touch him. He can't touch them. He's not to be on set with Zendaya. He can be on set with Michelle Williams. Oh, did she not come back? Well, that's your problem.
Well, good. Too bad. She's not going into mine.
Crazy they don't even want to talk about her in this. They're like, do you want to get back to your girlfriend?
So she was Eddie's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Was she also like female Venom for a hot second?
Yeah.
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 They really dropped everything.
Kissed, and then like it was like Venom kissed Brock.
Yes.
And then the Venom transferred over and he was like, now I'm just kissing her. But a little bit of us was like, oh, so Eddie and Venom are having
I remember the second one, they were like, they were kind of like, yes, they're gay, because you had to make them gay in the first one. Like, here's like a one little bone. We're like, come on, make them fucking. Let's see some penetration, okay? Let's see some hot stuff, okay? It was just ridiculous. But this one, they go full hog. This is a beautiful road trip. This is pretty much him going, let's just chill with Venom and Eddie. And it's beautiful.
It is. I think they were one of the best things that happens in the middle of the movie is they're like, The thing thereafter is only able to be seen when I am Venom, and thus I will not become Venom much. And I was like, and they saved the budget. Like they're just saving a little bit of budget for themselves.
The little caveat to that is though they're just like, by the way, my head can come out a bit. So we can chat. Otherwise, the camera setup's a bit weird. It's just Tom Hardy walking in the desert chatting to himself. So we'll have a bit of something. But, for the most part, we should also say the film does not start here. The film starts in an evil outside space area.
Oh, yeah.
It's on an evil planet.
So dark you can't see it.
There's just Venom's cum everywhere, on the walls everywhere. And an evil man with a skull and a white hair is like, I'm going to get them. You're like, okay, where's that going? And we go, don't worry about it. I've never seen them really just drop this very this outer space thing. Just don't worry about it. We're not that bothered about it.
They're the villain, but whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
That's the thing. We know why you're here. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care.
We gave you Woody Harrelson last time. We know you don't care this time. This time he's just over there.
We're doing it so the stakes are higher. But listen, just. You know what we're here for, okay? He's there to approve something. The producer's got a bit oh, you need a big villain. There he is. But don't worry about him, okay? Just chill.
They definitely now just be like, oh, we need a big villain. Chat GPT, Venom villain. And they're just like this thing, and they're like, okay, well, that's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
I've just dragged and dropped the name.
I do love constantly with these films. You kind of go, I bet there's a comic book here, but I don't care if it has a comic book. It's still bad. What the hell is this? One fan
sitting there being like, wow, they've finally brought long white-haired alien guy to life. They're finally doing it. When I was a kid, I never thought they'd do it, and now they've done it. And now I get to see him in snippets throughout the film. Thank God for Sony.
Here's the problem, though. If you're a very niche comic person, you probably like this character for a very specific reason. I'm sure they haven't. They've not brought him to life. He's just weirdly sitting in goo for most of the film and going, I want. What's it called? The Conclave or the Conduits?
The Conclave. What's it called? They want the new release Ralph Fiennes movie Conclave.
They want the political drama around the popes. They want that. They want that on DVD, but Netflix won't give it to them.
Here's the thing: they know that there's Academy screeners out there. He wants a copy. He's not going to pay to see it in cinemas. He's like, somebody get me the DVD copy of Conclave.
I love that they definitely go. Netflix goes, damn, there's a lot of old fucking people that just cannot work out our app. We're just going to send them a DVD. Fuck it, let's make it onto a video. Let's just send them a video out. Please vote for us. Yeah. We know you're 95 and you might die tomorrow, but please, God, Ralph Fiennes needs this. So that's...
This villain watching the DVD being with the for your consideration popping up being like, nice. Nice. I saw it early.
I don't know, 3.5 is pretty good.
Them in the flashback being like, why do they want the Conclave? And Tom Hardy stabbed with the DVD, just right through the chest.
Let's get in. So, do you want to talk about this?
You don't want more Conclave?
I'm going to talk about Conclave. No. Do you want to...
I don't care.
The film doesn't care.
We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, I guess. We get to then meet Rex Strickland.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Rex Strickland, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's on the hunt.
It's so vague. It's so vague. So he's just like, I've got to get that Eddie, I think. Because they have... Do you remember in Fast and Furious, I think the latest one, they had that technology that could scan every camera and then they could track anybody.
Yeah.
And that was an arc for 4 films.
Yeah.
This film just...
God's Eye. The God's Eye.
God's Eye. They have it in this one. Constantly Eddie's in New Mexico, track him down. They go, we'll send a helicopter. We'll get him.
In this one, they're one of those cameras has got to have caught the end of Conclave.
Yeah, the whole mission is just people. I've got 2 popes. Fuck off with that shit. 2019. No, I don't want to watch the 2 popes. I've got a Netflix account for that. I want the new Pope-based drama. Okay, I don't care if it's bootlegged or whatever. I need that fucking film.
We've cut together the background plot of Angels and Demons. Not good enough.
And yet it is 4 popes dying every hour. I'm sad.
Dan Brown, you've done it again.
Yes, slut.
Anyway, so Rex is like, I hate the symbiotes, and every time somebody's like, why do you hate them? And he's like, they get the people that are on my team. There's a scene later where Rex Strickland things don't go well for him, and I've never seen someone so aggressively FaceTime someone. He's like, oh, I can get a goddamn iPad, types it in, it's like, my team is dead. What are we going to do about this?
They must be furious, because back in the day, you could slam a phone, and that was powerful.
Yeah.
Now, hitting the little red button on a Zoom call doesn't have the grace, it doesn't have the command, you know? It's pathetic, because normally you buffer at the end, so your face is just kind of stuck there for a half a second.
I know. There should be a whole scene where they're like, you're not loading. Do you just want to join via audio? Let's get rid of the video image.
Are you on the Wi-Fi call that sometimes helps it out a bit, you know?
I don't need to see your face.
Yeah.
You're going to get the message to me.
Send me a text. This could be a text. Anyway, he's the military guy in this movie. We've also got the science nerds. Now, normally they'd be pretty one-dimensional. For some reason, this film goes, we're going to give them 2 dimensions, and they're batshit insane.
They're incredible. We've got Teddy Payne, Dr. Teddy Payne, as played by Judo Temple. And then is it Juno or Judo? What did I say?
Juno.
Juno.
I think you said Juno.
I think I said Judo.
I mean, you say what you want to say. It's Juno, but you shouldn't say. But, you know, you can be wrong. That's fine.
But I don't want to be wrong.
Okay, well, listen.
It's my first episode back. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong out the gate.
It would be embarrassing. No, it is Juno, though.
Okay, no problem. We got Dr. Teddy Payne, played by Juno Temple, and then we've got Sadie Christmas, played by Unknown. At least to me.
Now, that last name is pretty wild, because essentially her main character arc is that she's gotten this ugly Christmas brooch, and Mr. Rex mocks her, goes, that's an ugly brooch. She goes, my mother made it, and goes, you scientists are also fucking weird. And that's kind of their conflict, I think. Just them beefing over this ugly brooch, and it is an ugly brooch.
It's a awful brooch.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's appropriate for a scientific workplace.
It is July.
Things are going to jump on, germs, symbiotes.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's wild a symbiote doesn't latch on to the Christmas brooch.
At one point, I don't want to jump ahead, but one does jump, and I think it uses the Christmas brooch as its color spectrum.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Yes.
It goes, well, this is an okay color.
And that's in the comic. And here's the thing. The people that guy who loves the long hair guy loves this Christmas brooch.
Oh, finally, Sadie Christmas is a Venom. Finally.
Seeing that on screen was really my, I don't know, conclave. I'm trying to think of another film, but I just can't because...
You can't, it's just there.
It's just there.
Conclave is always there. But the person that has the biggest plot is Teddy Payne.
Yeah.
Teddy Payne has one of the best lines of exposition I've ever... Classic Sony.
Yeah.
Sony never change. You are so good at giving exposition in a single sentence and so seamless, so good at hiding it from the audience. It never feels like it, you know? Very like in Jurassic Park when they disguise it with a video. These guys are just as clever.
They're subtle. It's nice. So pretty much it's her kind of like looking down at her arm going, all electrocutey. We're in a storm. Her holding her brother's hand. They're little children. She goes, my brother, one day you'll be a NASA scientist. Now we're running. There's a big storm, Carl. They're holding hands. Lightning strikes. The boy is dead. The boy has perished, but she is alive. Luckily, he grounded her on wet sand. It's how science works. Anyway, so this is kind of the motivation for the film, except it's not.
So she took on his dream of working in science.
Yes.
Because she killed him by touching his hand.
Yes.
And then on top of that, they were just hanging out in a storm.
Yeah.
The storm was very large and approaching. It's crazy too because if they weren't running, they wouldn't have been struck.
Yeah.
So if they just laid where they were, they'd be fine.
I gotta tell you, I just think they'd all be fried. I just don't think you could be on wet sand and not be exploded.
But maybe the sand's not wet.
It was drenched, okay? We're in a storm.
We don't know. You didn't take samples.
It was not a dry storm, Carl, okay? I took notes. Took detailed notes.
Definitely a dry storm. That's why it was so electrocuted.
Okay, so sorry. It is actually flawless. They've nailed the science.
I just don't think that there's anything better than turning to somebody and being like, you, my twin brother, working for NASA soon.
Those
Thank
are the days.
God. Run!
It cuts back, and then Rex is just like, you're such a fucking loser. Oh. God, I hate you. You're still happy you took over your brother's dream? You shouldn't, because you're a failure.
Look at your gross arm. Huh? Is that going to pay off? But sometimes limp, sometimes
she
not.
She is a lot, though. She constantly brings up the dead brother thing.
She never forgets about it. Get over it. It was years ago.
Can I say I'm on Rex's side about this? Because he pretty much goes,
he's right to bully her.
The scientists are all weird. And so far, yeah, he's 2 for 2. You know, Christmas and her, it's a lot.
Just, you'd want one of them to be like normal. Like, hey, you a Seinfeld fan or something?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't really watch anything.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
You got Netflix? He's like, no, I mainly get screeners in the mail, you know, so I'll just take those.
Seen The Brutalist?
I've been dying to get that. Do you have a DVD player? No, I got it on video, man.
No.
They've been sending it to the 120-year-olds first. They kind of move it down.
They've been sending me Conclave in 10-minute bit parts via VHS.
It's funny as well. The further down you get, it's just TikTok like snippets. I'm watching Conclave in 48 parts on TikTok with a little car driving in the background. It's real good. You gotta check it out.
You gotta watch Conclave.
You gotta watch Conclave.
Being to Rex being like, I know some of your friends are dying and there's symbiotes out there, but you gotta catch Conclave. You gotta catch it.
Now, I love this the most as well because they're also like, hey, we're near Area 51. Don't worry, it's getting decommissioned. We're just going to go downstairs to Area 54, which is where we're keeping all the aliens. Now, I'm just saying, this is just me personally. If I was the director of the America, I'd probably say, let's not build the alien stuff next to the place we all know where the aliens are.
Yeah, and then put it under all the stuff we're blowing up that has acid.
Yeah.
Because if we're just putting it underneath, it seems like that's just an extra hazard.
I gotta tell you, this acid thing is almost too Looney Tunes-esque. What the hell is this? It's like a Chekhov's acid. It's just a big thing. Rex walks up day one. He's like, "Do you mind me? I'm just gonna burn some cars with my acid thing. It's hyper acid. You can tell it's better than normal acid, and we're just gonna burn some stuff." And that's what we keep here at Area 51. What is this, Carl? This is a cartoon. What is this for? Why have they got this big vat of acid?
Well, you see, they are out in the desert.
Yep.
So, if Wile E. Coyote needs to get the Roadrunner, he's
true.
going to need Acme's acid.
It does feel a bit Acme. All their technology feels very Acme, you know?
It's
They've
so
got big
Acme.
rockets. They're like, no, it's for catching the symbiotes in the desert, okay? We just have those.
It's very, the scientists walking around being like, this is very Acme core.
I think that's why Rex is so bitter. He does remind me quite Coyote-wise, you know?
Anyway, that's everything that's happening.
Yeah.
They're our players.
Yeah.
That's everybody. You've met the cast, except for Risa Farnes, who's going to take up a big chunk.
Late
chunk.
into the film, and you're kind of like, oh, were we committing to this? Okay, I like it.
Anyway, Eddie and a big monster, they get attacked on a plane. Sure. Let's just bring it up now. In terms of like the scope of the movie, effects-wise, what did we think?
I think that hopefully all the actors were paid well. 'Cause we had to look through all the credits. A lot of people worked on the visual effects team. I just hope that everyone got paid well because it's fine. But they always looked fine. These Venom films, these Sony films, they've always just looked passable, you know?
Yeah.
These could be watched on an iPhone and that's okay, you know? I always think they shouldn't be watched on a big screen. You never say that about a movie. These ones can be watched on a small screen. That's
Sony's
fine.
begging you to please watch this on a plane.
An iPod Nano, please. Just make it small resolution.
Fall asleep and listen to it.
Yeah.
You don't need the
This
visual.
makes a cracking podcast.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough.
I do think one of the things that I don't like about the movie is I don't think Hardy gets to be let loose as much as he has in the previous movies.
Yes.
I think he is a little bit more almost aware that they need this movie to be a hit, and he can't be a bit more. He's very Nicolas Cagey in the first one.
Yes, because I feel he's interacting with people, and the whole sort of premise of that first one is him trying to control it. And it's a bit like, I'm slapstick and stuff. Whereas this is mainly him just out in the field.
Yeah, chatting.
Yeah.
Chatting to a puppet.
And I gotta tell you,
puppet.
I'm pretty happy with their dynamic. I like their
Love
dynamic.
it. I think it's evolved very nicely. I
Yeah.
think obviously this screenwriter and directors stepped up and been like, let's make it a little bit more like they are in a relationship situation, a situationship, if you will.
I shall.
And so it is nice that the whole middle of the movie, which is probably the part I like the most, that has the least amount of Venom stuff in it. Like, not in terms of he's still talking to Venom, but it doesn't have as much action.
It's two separate movies.
Yeah.
Like, it keeps being like, we want to just them. Honestly, it seems like they just wanted them walking in the desert, going to New York.
Yeah.
That could have been the film. Of course, it couldn't have been, but it should have been.
And somebody said, let Venom attach itself to as many animals as it can find.
Oh, I'm chuffed that this was it. I remember sending you the trailer I said, look, Venom gets a horse. And then we're going to watch Venom Horse. And you're like, well, I'm back in. This franchise is slowly going down money-wise, but it's still making pretty good money.
It's crossed 300 million and 120 budget.
Yeah,
like, people are
nice.
still turning up for it, I
Yeah.
guess. I think It's funny because I think when now that superhero movies are very hit and miss in their quality, I think when there's a big superhero movie that's good, the next superhero movie after it gets to do well.
Yeah.
And then when a superhero movie's bad, the next one doesn't get to do well. And so because Joker Folie à Deux just got absolutely torn to shreds,
Yeah.
I think people were like, maybe I won't rush out to the next comic book movie.
Yeah.
So, but because I think now it's ticking up a little bit at the box office, maybe it will become a hit. Maybe it will become a mega hit. Who's to know?
I feel like just quietly in the background, they normally do well. And I feel like they do absolutely insane on Netflix and stuff like that. When they come to all the streaming stuff, it's always in the top, like, watch for that week. So it always does well.
I think because all dads love Tom Hardy but hate paying for a movie ticket.
Totally. And that's your market.
Yeah, that's
and
100%
Netflix
your
knows
market.
that. They want that. They want that Tom Hardy dad market.
Yeah. My dad never wanted to go to the movies with me much. Mum was always like, yeah, I'll go to the movies.
Yeah.
Dad was like, I'm not going to pay for a fucking ticket to a movie when I could eventually watch it at home.
You fool. This was pre-Netflix, so he was just stealing DVDs or, getting some sort of screener.
We got a lot of Bali films, a lot of shiny Bali films. And here's the thing, they never worked.
But they're $1, and that's a good gamble.
It is.
Honestly, you're kind of worth it,
Absolutely. Anyway, we get a lot of them walking around the desert. We get them to meet Risa Fons, who is a hippie.
Yes.
We meet his family.
Yes.
We have some shenanigans. We have some scenes that drag on.
Yep.
The Risa Fons they let him sing a full song, a full cover.
They've got
of Bowie.
They've got a lot of licensed music in this. They're playing like Bowie. They're playing Queen. If they played, it feels like the budget for the music alone. I've never heard such.
Well, I guess
big
Sony
tracks.
would probably own all these
that's
artists.
so true.
So it's probably nothing for them to have to license to themselves.
Gotcha. That makes no sense because it does seem like I'm like, man, I've not heard these movies unless it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like our main thing is that we're kind of a jukebox musical for boys.
Yeah.
Here's David Bowie. But yeah, no, this is odd. We're in this.
I don't think any of the music matches either.
No.
I don't think any of the music choices work in the scene that they're doing.
Totally not. When Bohemian Rhapsody comes out, you're like, this is just done. We are sick of this. Even in this awkward car, because you've got Risa Fons is a hippie, his wife
is a hippie,
and then two children who are not hippie children. I don't mean that as in like they're rebelling. It just looks like they're like two cookie cutter kids who don't fit into this family.
No.
Yeah. It's not a lived-in family because they have like the dynamic of like, Dad, I want to go to the mall
To see
and these,
Area 51, which is fair.
And these parents are high. Let's face it, they're getting a bit feral.
They make a joke about being taken to like child services, and at the end, Risa Fons puts them all in horrible danger.
Yeah.
So really, that was the right call.
I think so. We're jumping ahead, but do you remember like a few years ago, people were like, "We're gonna storm Area 51." Bit of a fun meme.
Oh yeah.
And I remember when that was sort of happening. They got there and it's like a bit like, oh, no one's there, but they had guards waiting, which is real big guns.
Yeah.
And they're decommissioning Area 51 in 3 days. Those guards are still going to be there. Risa Fons' children are going to be slaughtered,
Imagine just a sniper capping the boy.
Yeah.
Just as they run across and he's like, we shouldn't have entered.
Ugh, why did I send in him first? That felt very irresponsible.
That's the other thing too, is the Area 51 that exists in real life doesn't have aliens.
No.
This one did, and they were still like, let's not put out security. Even though they knew there were aliens in this one.
Yeah, they're playing. Here's the thing. It's a real double bluff that I don't think really affects nobody. Like, why not just put up a big fence or move it somewhere else?
Yeah.
I don't know any other place. If I had to go to America and go, I need to look for aliens, I'd go to Area 51 because the only one I know.
Yeah.
You could set up anywhere.
It's not good. You're not outsmarting people that much by just going, what if we put it under it? They'll dig.
Yeah.
They've been digging their entire lives.
Constantly. And also, you'd be like, there's a lot of activity there.
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Who's actually who's the government body that sat back and went, we're going to spend about $4 billion putting Area 51 under itself and then closing and blowing up the top of it? Like, that's a film.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Structurally, though, we do need a support acid sort of a rain shower to top it off. Could we build that in?
Yeah.
That'll cost another $17 billion. Perfect. Do it,
Yeah,
though.
somebody just chiming and being like, but sir, we've got all those acid tanks. Oh, Why? Why do we have...
Well, it's hyper acid. You need some hyper acid. We're in the desert. It's a coyote thing. It's an actually thing. You'd get it.
You gotta get the Roadrunner. It's coming.
It's kind of our Osama bin Laden. You know, we've got him, and then we're gonna get Coyote. Okay.
Where in the world is the Roadrunner? I'll tell you what. If the Roadrunner was drawn in and whooshed by at the end of the climax, it would fit right in.
I would love a Zero Dark 30 about the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
I would watch that in a heartbeat. Catherine Bigelow would nail that.
Yeah, just somebody getting tortured and like holding a gun, and then the background's just like meep, meep.
A little stick of dynamite in the torch in his cave. Put this in your mouth.
Where is he? Just into the toilet.
Waterboarding. How can he run across thin air? How did he do that? We painted a fucking tunnel on the wall and he ran through. What do you know? Okay? What do you fucking know? So the Tom Hardy and this hippie family are getting along just
They
peachy.
hit it off. They reach Las Vegas. Here's the thing. This detour doesn't need to happen. They go here just so he can meet Mrs. Chen.
You know, the shopkeeper from the bodega from the other films.
Everyone loves the shopkeeper from the bodega,
Well,
it seems.
I gotta tell you, I really do think, because this Venom franchise, I assume it's just us that's watched it, and every time, because I'm not in like the Marvel universe, so I never get any of like the references. And people like cheer, and I'm like, I don't know. Whenever like this character pops up, like she popped up in the Spider-Man one, I went, that's great. I finally get it, you know, but just for the niche Spider-Man Venom stuff.
Yeah.
It's just great stuff.
You and your own little subcategory. It's like when it's just one of those things where definitely them as a studio are like, no, people have come to know and love Mrs. Chen. People have come to know and love Mrs. Chen. And you're like, have they? It's like in the Jurassic World movies, they were like, people love Blue the Raptor. And you're like, do they love Blue the Raptor?
Here's the thing. I think they were just using like, you know how Netflix lets you select your icon? I think a lot of people picked Blue and they went, well, that's our main character. We have to get Blue back, okay? A lot of people selected that as the icon, you know?
Yeah, so this obviously was like Tom Hardy, Venom, Carnage, and Mrs. Chen.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, I see myself as Mrs. Chen.
Is Mrs. Chen's either ironic or that's your grandma's account? And you're like, well, that's an old woman and that will count and that's done.
I'm happy for this actress who gets the titular dance.
Before we get to the Venom dance, Tom Hardy keeps losing his shoe.
I really thought it was going to pay off. They brought it so heavy to the forefront.
It kind of pays off. He gets pissed on, and we see it. It was a very large screen of someone pissing on his open toes. It was just kind of gross. Like, it's kind of like, that should be an R rating. That felt too intimate for me. It was so, and the ADR in it was quite aggressive.
It was spot on. It made you think they just did it.
Tom Hardy's a pro. He goes method, okay? He pissed on himself and they're like, get that on camera.
Yeah, reading the script and he's like, this is happening for sure. I'll do this. I don't need to stand in. I'll do this. Somebody bring a mic. Actually, you know what? My buddy Benny's been pounding Gatorades today. Let's get him in a tux and he can do this scene with me. His piss is beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Here's the thing. You want movie piss? You want to get Ben, the Gatorade guy, okay?
That's right.
It's yellowy, but God, it's got a glisten to it.
He gets a color that just art production can't get. You go, oh, they can mix some dyes and put it in water.
It's like,
no. What these guys' kidneys will do. It's movie magic.
It's like Pantone, like he's got a copyright on that exact color. Like, no. You got to get that one.
Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous piss.
Absolutely. He's there just being like, and action? Oh, wow, there was a stench to it as well. God.
It's a shame you guys can't smell this, but here's the thing. On screen, you can see the stench around everyone.
How'd that fourth Spy Kids movie go? Could we pull off Venom smell-o-vision? Is there any nodding? Did that Joel McHale vehicle land?
You open your DVD and you got just like a little scratch and sniff, and that's just the piss scene. You know? There you go. It's a wet piss.
There's two smells. You can smell the piss later in the movie, and you can smell the lightning smoking off that dead child of her twin brother.
Oh, I did them both at the same time, and I'm just getting a smoky piss.
It's a smoky piss. Pretty good though. It's actually pretty nice.
This is it's like Savage.
Yeah, patting it down. Sony should make a candle of this. I'd light this everywhere I went. You got that Venom smoky piss candle for Christmas? The Last Dance.
They're like, this actually is a $4 billion franchise. Those candles went gangbusters. Carl, we should get in back again. The plot.
Holy shit! It's called the Codex. I just remembered. It's not Conclave. It's Codex. We know.
Okay, Codex.
Let's
okay.
restart it from the top. My name's Carl.
Again, the plot has not moved, but essentially, sprinkled through this is that this evil white-haired man has teleported a little bug to chase Venom.
Big bug.
Little
bug to him, big bug to
every
us.
time he goes to Venom, he's got what's it called? The Conclave?
The Codex.
The Codex in his stomach. And this is a lengthy dialogue. He's just like, all right, so this Codex is in your stomach. Every time he's Venom, he can get it. If we kill him both, then he just explains the whole thing to a room of just goo. And this bug's trying to get him.
Yeah. There is no... Juno Temple genuinely only speaks exposition.
Yeah.
She does not get to live as a character ever. She's always just like, well, that would mean...
They blew their load. They were like, we get the most tragic backstory we've ever done. So, character-wise, you're just exposition now.
So was she always holding a jar of lightning?
No. She sneaks us off.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll save that.
The film's flawless. Anyway, so this bug can only track Tom Hardy when he goes full Venom mode.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't really know what their goal is, because it's not like they're like, oh, we need to get somewhere and then we can stop it. So I think they're just like, I'm kind of done. I want to dance to my friend. And they dance.
Yeah. And it gets them immediately caught.
Yeah.
They're flat out like, oh, fuck. A helicopter that sounded off to all of the government, all of the FBI, and the bug. And they're like, was it worth it? We almost killed Mrs. Chen just to have that dance. A synchronized dance.
It's a pretty good dance. And
Great dance. It's a good last dance.
It's crazy they called the film that.
Yeah.
Because it really is not even the titular moment. Well, it is, but...
It's the moment.
That causes
it's everything that goes.
It's the second act.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, how are we getting out of this pickle?
It is the thing
It's
that
a pickle
has the
shouldn't be.
biggest reaction for the rest of the plot.
Yeah.
It is. It's the biggest turning point in the film. Is the dance. So I guess they made the right call, because I was there being like, when are we going to get to this dance?
Yeah.
And like get to it. I wonder if you had seen Joker Folie à Deux, you'd be like, I'm sick of them dancing. I'm sick of dancing in my superhero movies. I'm danced out. I don't care about Tom Hardy's last dance.
I've not seen Joker, but I think this would have switched me back. I'm back in,
If Venom danced with Joker?
Yes, I would have preferred that.
Look at the two of us. Follies.
Venom switching his hat. Adieu.
And adieu to you.
I will say, I do love the military. I don't know if this is sort of allowed, but there's a helicopter with all of them on. Constantly 6 of them are just strapped with rope, just loose on the helicopter, and they're just swinging about with guns. I don't know if this is allowed, but
the military budget got cut, so they can't afford seats anymore.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's a very rope-heavy business now.
That's fair enough. It is a rope-based industrial complex. Yeah.
It also throws people because they go, does that helicopter have little legs?
Well, you think it's a spider, it freaks you out.
Yeah.
Luckily, the bug has 6 legs. This is a little podcast for knowledge, huh?
There is just a part where Tom Hardy's just standing obliviously chatting, and the helicopter just slowly comes in with them all dangling, and you're like, how do you not hear that? That is a full helicopter with people dangling from it. Use your peripheral vision, man.
I did basic physics. I can tell you right now, that helicopter even doesn't stop moving, gives it a little wobble. Those guys are smacking at each other at about 100 kilometers an hour.
Absolutely.
Straight up deaf.
Yeah.
They're done.
Most of them died, and Chiwetel Ejiofor was like, Venom killed them.
Yeah. 6 dangling bodies, bloodied and beaten. That was Venom, or the bug, whichever. It wasn't me.
Why was the rope tied around their necks rather than their waist? Oversight.
That was the Wile E. Coyote's idea, okay? These
did that.
Acme products are very faulty.
Oh, and I'm the one that brought out liters and liters of acid to the test site. Hey, yeah. Okay. I'm the smart guy that decided to put Area 54 directly under Area 51, and I'm the idiot. Okay. All right. Let them tangle.
From the big full of acid we brought. Now,
Who is that? The military being like, Area 54 can go under 51. No more seats in helicopters. They can dangle and just acid everywhere. Everywhere for
do you
acid.
think they were like, okay, we call it Area 52. They're going, no, 54. At least that's 3 numbers away. Yeah. They're probably going to be thrown by that. Carl, we haven't even mentioned it.
They're being just like, where's 2 and 3? We can't go into 4 yet.
Yeah.
Let's stay back.
We've earned the last 50. We're going to earn 51. And by then, we've got 54 to go to. But we need to get 52 and 53. That's it. We need that.
The guy wake up in the morning being like, they've destroyed Area 54 and 51. And he's like, that's nuts. They were all decoys for Area 36, which was deeper under.
It's just levels. It's just floors. Oh, God.
It's just on the elevator.
Yeah, 1 to 100 is all our secrets, and quite frankly, here's the key.
Area 1, daycare. Bring your kids.
God, we haven't even talked about it, but I guess the guy, what's his name? What's his name?
Oh, Stephen Graham.
Yes, he was in the second one. I couldn't remember him when he popped on the screen.
This man forgot he'd be asked back. He was like, they want me back for a what? A third Venom? Was I in a second Venom? Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sit on a bed and I'll shed one tear, but all of my lines are the judo temple out a window. That's it. You get 1 day with me. I'm Stephen Graham.
He's a second Venom who's kind of like their way of knowing stuff. What is he? What's he doing? He's Blue Venom.
He's lovely Venom. Yeah.
Oh, he's a doll. He's an absolute doll.
Well, he's like giving like a who's in Star Trek? That's like the smart one, Spock.
Oh, Spock.
He's giving like a Spock that's he's just standing there on the side of the door that's just being like, he's from an evil world and he will kill you all and he will do so like this. I will bring peace. Blah 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 blah. I've died. And you go, not lovely, Venom. No.
Oh, no.
I do love that when the bug eats something, it sprays out.
Me too. Like a wood chipper.
Yeah.
Wood chipper, like a blood chipper.
I think the thing that's always worked against this franchise is because I think the comics are quite violent. Like his thing is biting off heads.
Yeah.
And so they've never really been able to do the violence level he probably should have had. I actually think if this movie was R-rated, like, and hyper violent, it might have blown up a bit more.
I think so, yeah. I mean, because then I feel like they're pushing the envelope. Like lots of swear words, lots of sort of that sort of jokes.
Coming off of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is really violent.
Yeah.
So it's like you can...
It's just like you're like, oh wow, they like ate the head, but you're like, there's not a drop of blood.
No,
there's no blood. You're like, I guess you've got you've fooled them, but like very odd tone. But
yeah, and
I
it's
like
like when they have the bodies and like blood sprays out the back, it's still like very maroon. So it could be like their jean shorts.
Yes. A couple of jean shorts flying out their
jean
neck.
Shorts right out the back.
And that's fine. That's PG. You put those bloody, you're gone. Okay, that's R. So we get the kind of final act now. They're all like in the Area 54, and Eddie's woken up and they've split him up with Venom. You know, this is sad.
Was your wife?
Yeah,
flat out went, oh no.
Oh, constantly was like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And quite frankly, good on the writer and director and what's it called?
Tom. I think Tom Hardy does a lot of the heavy lifting.
Constantly, any emotional moment with pathos, with Venom and Eddie, got an R or a, oh no, surely they'll get back together.
I think they actually have done a really good job throughout the movie of being like, Eddie just being like, hey, Venom, this and this. So it is really sad when he's like, hey, Venom, can you help me with this? And then there's no reply and you go, oh, he's all alone.
It is sad.
He's all alone.
It really feels like a film bogged down with this bullshit. You're like, just give them like a My Dinner with Andre situation.
Oh, just let them have a lake house. Let them do the lake house.
Yeah.
Just them, but with Sandy B and Keanu Reeves. So there's like a third timeline that they're like, why do we keep getting intercepted by Venom in the middle? And it's like, I don't know, but I love you. And it's like, was that to Venom or to me, Keanu Reeves?
It was to Venom. It's always to Venom.
All roads lead to Venom.
We get the big final act. Let's set the scene. We've got, so the weird hippie family's back. They're like, you know what? We checked out Area 51. That was our mission. And you know what? We're going to sneak in. We're going to send in the kids first and see what the vibe is on the mines. We've also got they've got like 7 different symbiotes. I cannot remember the lore around the symbiotes. I can't remember if they need to jump onto a host and maybe they'll vibe them or not. I couldn't remember. Either way, the symbiotes jump onto any scientist. Christmas gets a whole thing. Juno Temple gets one. Everyone gets a little symbiote in them, and they've all got weird little powers. And then we'll find this bug. One bug.
Yeah.
Who's sort of indescribably powerful, but kind of not.
Yeah. Can sort of rebuild itself, but can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got to tell you, with the big sort of climax that this is, I've just looked it up, and Kelly Marcel has at least according to IMDb, never directed anything before.
Mm-hmm.
Not even an episode of TV, not even a short film, literally just this movie. And she has worked on all the productions. She's written the other two as well, and she's written this. One of the things about this ending is it is so chaotic and definitely comes across as I've never directed an action movie before because I could not keep up with anything that was going on personally. It was just a lot of symbiotes jumping around, grabbing things. We at one stage, we all broke out laughing because who died?
I think the janitor, or maybe
No,
just
the security
the
guard.
security guard, and it's sort of like, oh,
I think is it
what's
Jeff?
It's Jim. It's just like a nondescript, like
That's it. It's
it's
Jim.
just Jim, but like
Jim!
but it's just like they're just like stabbing. It's like almost blurring the background. It's just like, oh, a lot of violence. But then Christmas turns around and gets a full like close up, just Jim.
Oh, it's loud.
Oh, it's loud.
Jim!
It's beckoning. We've never been introduced to Jim. I guess a deleted
we
scene.
got a short moment with Jim at the beginning. He let them in.
Which
let them
is
in.
bullshit. They go down like 7 elevators.
I remembered
They
it.
talk in the elevator going, man, it's crazy that not a single human can even hear us down here. And then they go, would you mind scanning your pass, sir? And they go, well, the little barrier gates. Why bother? We're in Area 54. I've gotten in. I'm definitely here, meant to be here, you know? Don't bother with this because you're going to forget your key card. It always happens.
Yeah, but the head of the government's like, you got to put more security down at Area 54. We've dangled 51 in front of them. They're going to want 54.
Here's the thing.
And I've stupidly put it underneath.
You know what's really silly as well? They put it under acid, which quite frankly could melt the floor and then you're being exposed.
Can go right down.
Yeah.
He's like, I really thought the acid would throw them off.
It just enticed more Risa fans. This is a chaotic ending.
Yeah.
And also made pretty, like, nondescript wise, steak wise. I don't care because I'm more in for Venom and Eddie.
Yeah.
But this is just.
I'm pretty into Juno Temple because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Her twin brother died from an electric strike and he wanted to work at NASA. And Chiwetel Ejiofor, while dying, really wants to throw that in her face and is like, but you're happy your brother's dead now and doesn't have to see this mess.
I gotta be a bit nasty. Did she actually work at. Was this NASA? Because
No.
I didn't see a single sign.
This ain't NASA. No, she's done. NASA's closed, right?
What?
Right? I thought NASA wasn't funded anymore.
NASA's funded.
I thought it was, or it's underfunded.
Well, it's underfunded, but it's just more like we can't.
Wait a
send
minute.
rocket.
Wait a minute. These hidden figures. What are you saying?
I'm saying they're out of a job, okay?
They're out of the job?
Yeah.
All of the hidden figures?
Yes.
Who's running NASA?
Well, here's the thing. They were just helping out. Okay, I've seen the first 30 minutes of Hidden Figures, so don't even talk
I've
to
seen
it.
the last 30. We can piece it together.
Okay.
They
just-
land.
Well, here's the thing. Little side note and spoilers for Hidden Figures. I thought they were landing on the moon, and the reason why I turned it off was like, they're just getting it into space. I couldn't care less.
They're just going around.
Well, who gives a shit? Just send a rocket up and just hope for the best. You
Yeah.
know? I think just give it a go.
We got to get Glenn Powell back on the ground.
Yeah, I don't care. Is that the Channing Tatum one?
What? No, that's Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah, Flow to the Moon. Is Glenn Campbell in?
No,
wait.
Glenn Powell is the astronaut in
Oh,
Hidden
really?
Figures.
I didn't get to that. I was 30 minutes
And
in.
he's all like, I'm nice to everybody that works here at NASA. And they're all like, good, go him.
That is right. I do remember that, and them being like, "It's all good here." I think most people were pretty kind in that movie, except for like some evil ones. I remember one scene, a long scene, where they like go to the bathrooms on the other side of the place.
Oh, Sheldon's in it. Young
yes.
Sheldon's the mean
Wait,
one.
No, Sheldon is right.
Sorry, yeah, but he's young in this.
No. Here's the thing: you can't say young Sheldon because yes, he technically was at one point.
Well,
young
he's younger
Sheldon.
than what he is now, so
when
he's
you say-
young Sheldon to me.
No, well,
Unless some TV show has come out taking that name and becoming a hit, then Sheldon Cooper to me is young Sheldon when he is in Hidden Figures.
you are so foolish. You've yet to see the Goldbergs, and you're gonna check it out. CBS, I assume.
Big young rock fan, like him in the Rundown.
Don't waste my young rock material. We've got to save it for Red One or whatever that
Oh,
film's
I'm
called.
so excited for Red One.
2
hours and 20 minutes.
Fuck off.
How do you reckon they're filling
No,
that?
it's
How do you
not.
reckon they're filling? It's 30 minutes longer than Venom: The Last Dance. How do you reckon they're filling the Red One time?
Are you shitting me
I'm
right
not
now?
even joking.
Oh,
I'm not even joking. And I've already removed the credits.
It's gonna be such a long, extended scene of like The Rock and Chris thing doing some improvisation, and it won't land, and I'll be angry.
It'll be like, that desk looks like C3PO, your mum. And just that back and
Whoa,
forth.
who leaked the script? Damn. A Star Wars reference.
God, you gotta get. If you haven't got tickets yet, just book them.
Get
It's a hit.
Conclave tickets. You
It's a
guys gotta
hit.
check it
What
out.
the fuck is Conclave? That a film?
Here's what happens. I think this is the greatest thing in the world because essentially we have not seen Long White Guy for the whole film. He kind of goes, "My bug, he's failing." Throws up another portal to the bug universe. Again, if you've got portals, just go straight.
go.
Go straight there, and you get like 1,000 bugs fly into the little circles. I go, holy shit! One bug was a lot. Now there's like gonna be 50.
Now there's up to 5.
Yeah, and they go. Just 2 bugs, just one more bug. So there's just 2 bugs, and they're handling it.
It's all of the bugs are really selfish. They're all like, well, I need a portal each.
Yeah.
And he's just like, can't you all just go through the one portal? And they're like, portal each.
Yeah. So we get 2 bugs, and then about 8 minutes later, they all kind of come. I guess they stop for a bit.
I think what's weird as well is it's confusing because at the beginning of the movie, Tom Hardy's gone through a portal, but that's a different portal to what the bugs are going through, and you kind of think, is he just doing all the portals?
God, I think even them at the start, I think Venom, it must be like a re-audio line, but they're just like, man, we're not doing any more of that multiverse bullshit anymore. And I think what a weird 3 years where they're like, we did it all, and then like, we're sick of it.
Yeah, like Sony was like, we tried so hard, and you rejected Madame Web, who was going to pull it all together. We had an idea, and you rejected her.
Again, I would just love Tom Holland being like, all right, it's going to cost you $10 million, and every single time one of those films went up, it's like, we're times it by 10. You're up to $1 billion now.
It's like how the entire thing was. Remember, they originally wanted all of Madame Web to revolve around Spider-Man, and he was just like, no. And they were like, then why are we making this?
While making it.
Yeah.
All right, someone get Pepsi on the phone. We need to get a last one sip quick.
Wasn't Dakota Fanning like, it changed the moment Tom Holland was like, I'm not coming. And she was like, why are we here? Why have I signed up to Madame Web? Oh, put them all in a film. I'd watch them put Craven, get her, get Venom.
What a horrid, like, behind the scenes. Wouldn't they just be bitter? Who'd direct it? I guess Andy Serkis might direct it.
I would get McG. I think McG would nail it. You'd be like, wow, this is worse than ever before. And McG's like, I know. I made sure of it.
What if he was like, I'm going to bring my Catwoman character back. Do you think Halle Berry's down?
He's like, I'm hot off the uglies. I'm on a losing streak. Give me the team up of the century.
I can't win. Please give me the keys.
Give me the keys to the Sony kingdom. I'll take Venom. We don't even need Tom Hardy if he's not coming back. I'll just attach him to whoever.
What if Robert Downey Jr. was like, I want me in that?
He's like,
I'll do
that's
it pro
great.
bono. That's free.
Imagine if they wrote the best script that just played on all the strengths and the core and like it all folded in on itself, and you're all like, they did it, they nailed it. Imagine the PR tour of Dakota Johnson, Jared Leto,
Tom Hardy, but kind of.
Tom Hardy, but not really. He's not there. And then Aaron Taylor Johnson, and they're all just like, isn't it weird we did this? Isn't it weird we all came back and we did this?
Nailed it. We nailed it. Oh, God.
That'd be great. And McG just being like, I gave them no direction. I sat there in the chair.
I had no script, I had no shot list, and you know what? Sometimes it all works out. That's film, baby.
It's great. What did it open to? 10 million. That's me paid for. Hot damn.
I remember I got told I got the first 10, and then I'm out of there. Carl, we've started a bit. Sadly, Venom's gone. He grabs like 19 aliens.
I thought this looked cool. I think one of the things that I thought was a shame that they were sort of doing here was I do like how sort of gargantuan he got. He got like really big as he was consuming. I wish he consumed more things.
Yes.
Remember when he was a frog and a fish, and he was a fish and he kept eating?
I loved that. You know, I
wish there was a longer sequence of him graduating up like 11 animals.
Well, like a fly and a cat and like a mice. You know, there's the whole witch thing. You know.
Oh, and then he eats a woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He ate a woman that ate the spider that sat
the
inside
fly,
of her.
that ate the horse. He did eat a horse.
He did eat
I
a
also
horse.
would love to see Venom do a mukbang. You know, I'd like to see him just chow down on some like long noodles. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do a channel that held onto. Well, I'm not across it to do the reference. moment.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, luckily, Carl, the acid rain comes back in a big way.
Oh, what? Thank God. It was there. It was there for a reason.
It was just sitting in the background out of shot the whole time, and you're going, they're gonna fucking get you. They're gonna use that.
But it's weird because only Chiwetel 4 has the controls for it.
Yes. I thought this was cruel because essentially Venom's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Very brave. Then he turns on the acid, which then burns him. But then he's like, ow, I'm also getting a bit fucking sprayed. And I think Venom's kind of like, I threw a bit on you as well. Just kind of, fuck you. And he's like, oh, I'm going to have to kill myself now, aren't I? I've got a gun. I've only got a grenade. Well, this is going to be dramatic.
It's so funny that Venom's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. And so are you, Chiwetel 4. And he's like, no, I'm not. I could definitely heal. And he's like, me and you are going down together, buddy. And he's like, but we're not buddies. No, you're coming with me.
He puts a little tour on Tom Hardy.
And he sort of pats it with his little, he's like, sleep, child.
This feels very Iron Giant-esque, you know. This is just sort of the Iron Giant Venom, sacrificing himself for the greater good. And it's brave.
I'll tell you what, as somebody that saw The Wild Robot a few weeks ago, it's also that.
Wow.
Fucking beautiful.
I gotta tell you, they really should stop just taking robots and making them sacrifice themselves. You know, my computer killed themselves for me. I wouldn't be that, sobbing.
Yeah, my phone gets up and shoots itself in the head, and I'd be like, if you were looking at what I was looking at, yeah.
Oh, man, a Pixar short. That could be a Pixar short, you know?
Absolutely.
That's
phone. Suicidal phone. Oh, it won the Oscar.
You can see a whiteboard note just like, Brad Bird's gonna nail that.
He's really gonna do it. Surely there's a universe in there somewhere. We could milk that into 5 things.
Do you reckon that Sony did the exact same thing and went, I guess it's the Emoji Movie?
Well, do you remember when Sony was going to do like the El Macho movie, and it was going to be Bad Bunny as a wrestler that was a superhero that was also a part of these movies?
You're making up things.
You know how I could be wrong, but I know he's in the Spider-Man universe. You know how in Spider-Man he beats a fighter.
Yes, I do. Yes.
That guy later in the comics, I think, becomes a superhero.
Cool.
It would have been his film.
Damn, maybe it could have worked.
And you're telling me they're not doing it anymore?
It's odd as well. It must be upsetting. You know, you get to see Miss Christmas on screen, and you don't get the wrestler on screen, and that's just upsetting for the fans.
I know. So we get the big moment. Everybody's been waiting for it. If you've been a big fan of, and I've looked his name up, Null, who was the white-haired guy.
That was Null?
Yeah, with a K. So I don't know if he's Canal, or I'm going to assume the K is silent like on a knife. Basically, we get Judo Temple goes... not Judo. Fuck's sake. Juno Temple's like, lightning! and becomes a lightning Venom and goes and saves Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big moment. What did you think? I thought it undercut all of the things I was enjoying about the climax.
100%. I felt like we were doing a lot of stuff with Venom. I didn't mind. They just ran away.
Yeah.
Does acid blow up?
Well,
I thought acid would absorb a lot of the grenade. I don't mind. Is she Venom, though? It seemed like she had mainly lightning powers.
Yeah, but she had a little bit of Venom.
Gotcha. It seemed more Flash-esque.
So, yeah, it did seem very Flash. I mean, it's fast Venom.
Yeah.
It goes... Fast Venom, regular Venom, lovely Venom.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3 Vens.
No, they straight up call him Black Venom, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. They were like, which one are we after one? And he's like, the black one. And you're like, is that okay? Are you okay to say that?
They're really harsh, like the black one. Like,
well, he's like, I could only tell them by color. I mean, we have our own names, yeah, but you're not going to understand how to pronunciate
that's
them.
Speedy, and that's, lovely Venom, and that's Black Venom, It's the black one. You're like, oh, okay, that's Eddie, no. You're like, ooh.
And Judo Temple's like, okay, can you just describe it any other way? And he's like, no, that's his one defining trait. I'm sorry. He is black
say right
goo.
now. Carl, this is a pretty... genuinely, we've been in Venom with 3 movies. I'm a bit upset.
How many years? We've been doing it for as long as we've been doing the podcast, right? That's how many...
No. The first one came out in 2018. 6 years, no.
How long have we been doing the podcast?
I think we did the last one maybe 2 years ago. Whenever the second Venom came out, we did the first one before.
We did the first one before that. This story's been following us.
Okay.
This story's big.
Okay, cool.
This is big.
It is a big story. And
big.
how do you punctuate that, Carl?
A little bit of Maroon 5. Just a little bit of Maroon 5. Coming in soft, coming in light. Just a little bit there saying, hey, don't forget about me. All of the memories bring us back to you. And we get a highlight reel of everybody's in different moments from over the course of the trilogy.
It does feel like they're scrubbing through
yeah.
Venom 1 and 2 going, that'll do.
Most of them are from this film. Most of them, they were like, they just see... It was a lot of Risa Farms, who we did not talk about in the climax. Guess what? That character didn't matter.
Didn't matter at all. He RPG'd one of them. He went, I should have done that.
Almost got his whole family killed.
How many killed? They're traumatized now. Yeah. They're absolutely terrified of monsters and aliens.
He's a cautionary tale. He's like, don't go out there. Don't go finding aliens.
Imagine that was like, job done. People are now scared of Area 51. They're pretty scared there's aliens there. And they're like, you know what? We don't need to see them. And that's done. This beautiful song plays. We almost get like a Paul Walker of them like both driving off into the sunset going, well, that's Venom, huh?
But it's just Tom Hardy looking at the Statue of Liberty and he's like, I live in New York, so our second camera crew came out and shot this here. Weaved it into the narrative.
It does. It flies over a drone and there's just a man sitting on a bench and it's very like, is that Tom Hardy? I think it is. I couldn't tell you, but it's definitely someone on a bench.
They're like, hey, how are we going to get you to act in this last scene like you're going to miss Venom? And he's like, you know what? Come and record me the day your check clears.
Yeah.
Look at the Statue of Liberty. They're like, sir, $20 million has just hit your account.
A single tear rolls down.
What a journey we've had.
New York. What a win for him. What a win for him.
Oscar, who would watch Venom: The Last Dance?
Ooh, I gotta tell you, it's actually kind of a beautiful two-parter movie. Tonally, all the stuff without Venom and Tom Hardy is akin to Madam Web. I think maybe a bit more polished, but that sort of tone of this is odd and weird, and I think what you love. And then genuinely, I think they've done a very good job. Sometimes it doesn't work fully, but I think this is the best chemistry any character has had in the Marvel Sony Cinematic Universe. I will confidently say that. So if you want those two things rolled into a movie, I think it's the best one. I remember the first one being a bit odd, being a bit bogged down by that 2018 weird spin-off sort of superhero thing. I think this is a romp. That's it. Big recommend. Carl, who do you think would watch this? Sorry, who do I think would watch this? Whoever's there's Crolanites out there, you know? There's Colonites, Null heads will love this one. K-Null lovers will love this one.
Who do we think plays K-Null?
I looked it up. It's Andy Serkis.
Is it?
Yeah.
Big get for him.
Yeah.
Fresh off Animal Farm.
Directing and then coming back to voice a person.
I still want to be involved in the latest Venom movie. Oh, don't worry. You're going to be bringing K-Null to life.
What is the contract for that? Like, hey, you're in a post-credit scene. Here's 20 grand and maybe you'll come back to $1 million, but until then, just chill.
Yeah. We couldn't just get anyone.
Yeah.
You know? Couldn't just get anyone with a line of dialogue to do it.
We fucked up with the Thanos at the start. He looked weird. Then we got Josh Brolin. You know, we're not going to say again. Carl, who'd watch Venom Last Dance?
You know, I really do think I'd be very interested to know the people that rocked up and supported that first one that made like nearly $900 million. And if they think that this is a satisfying conclusion to what they wanted from that first one. Because I think this is more of a conclusion to what the internet turned Venom films into, rather than what I think the trilogy ever set out to actually do. And to me, that's kind of satisfying.
I think so.
I think what bogs it down really is probably the first half hour, which is just exposition and action, and the last half hour, which is just action. And in the middle of it is you just have Tom Hardy vibing with Venom, talking to himself, talking to other characters, being really weird, doing stupid stuff.
In a location, I did like that they were just in the middle of the desert.
I loved it too. Yeah. It meant that they went out to a physical place.
Yeah.
Because they were like, well, it's cheap to shoot in the desert. We'll just go out to the vast desert. And I thought that worked.
It did. It was essentially a podcast of two guys in the desert. Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should move to the desert,
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I think if you've been following these now, you'll likely enjoy this. That's probably who it's going to be for the very easy one. I would wonder, we took two people to the movie to see it. Neither of them had seen any of the other ones. Do you reckon they enjoyed it?
Yeah, I think they did. I think it's silly enough It's got that sort again, like that Madame Web, that Morbius. It's not as silly as those two. I think because they've got the
Because I don't think this is a bad film.
No.
But I do think it's a poor movie.
Yeah.
So I do think it's not. I don't think it's particularly good.
Those other two films are broken, and this has like elements of those weird, wacky stuff, but it's still got the backing of Venom 1 and 2.
Yeah,
So
you'd flat out look at Madame Web and you go, "This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen." So Morbius, but I think you look at Venom and you're like, "There's a spark here." It probably is just Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I think if you are a
And
Hardy
the writer
head,
slash director.
yeah,
like,
I think
been there
she's
for-
also. I think she's worked out the best. I wonder if she'd had control of the entire trilogy, what heights this could have been taken to.
I do remember that second one being this really like muted. They're like, yes, he's gay, but like,
Remember
we're
he
not-
went to a gay bar and danced?
Yes,
that was in the
but
flashback
that-
here
but
where
did-
he was in
but
like.
that felt almost like they were sort of like, we're doing it because you guys wanted
Yeah.
it, rather than this could be like, no, actually, let's explore this and let's actually like flesh this out. And I feel like this one does that.
Yeah,
which Is more
absolutely.
interesting.
I think anyone that's saying, could we just have a little bit more homoeroticism in superhero movies? Boom.
Yeah,
This one's for you.
this one's for you. Love.
Smash
that. Look
Ah,
at that.
look at
Carl,
that. Look at that
we're
go.
back in a big way,
We're
Carl.
back in a big way. So we have not picked what we're doing.
Yeah.
We got to have a big schedule leading up into Christmas. We've got some great things coming, I guess. I don't know.
What, a 4-hour Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie? Cannot wait.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for Red One. You have no idea. There's a polar bear in it. Will he have a weight on the story? Probably not.
If you guys want to recommend us a movie, ask www.tpodcast@gmail.com. If not, just send us a little symbiote in a bottle.
Talk me down, huh? Talk me down.
I can't trust you guys. It is a little inside secret. Carl's held a gun to his temple for about the entire runtime of this film.
Talk me down.
Thanks for listening.